Pictures of you, pictures of me, hung upon your wall for the world to see. Pictures of you, pictures of me, remind us all of what we could have been. Pictures of you, pictures of me, hung upon your...
Relive every moment true to life with True Capture technology, only from Canon.
And experience the true Australian culture while touring the Darling River Run. The Darling River has not only been a lifeline to the outback area of New South Wales since the days of Gondwana, it is a country experience for everyone in the family, an educational and engaging tour of Australian history and culture.
Talking about a chosen place, you want to sell it in a marketplace. Well, just a minute now. Stay on, solid rock. Stay on, sacred ground. Leave it on, borrowed time. Way to change. Down the line.
Morning everyone. Thank you so much for the applause. Hope you enjoyed that. That's a combination of a whole heap of people's efforts, as well as predecessors and myself. And Winston, welcome today because you're one of those. And we hope you enjoyed the symposium. But my name's Laurie Mode, for those that don't know me. I'm the Executive Manager of the Outback New South Wales Tourism Organisation. Firstly, can I just acknowledge owners, traditional owners, past and present, for which their land that we now stand. But I just wanted to let you all know that I had some sad news this morning that I really think I need to tell some of you because you're quite affected by it. Mr. Barry Bailey, who runs the Caravan and Camping Industry Association, unfortunately passed away last night. He's very well connected to this industry, so I think we all pay our respects to him and his family for what he's achieved for this industry. So I hope you join me in wishing all his family the best. So first of all, you might know that we've got an updated agenda. We have that because we have some of our keynote speakers stuck in Adelaide. They were meant to arrive last night, but the flight got diverted and they will be here later on today. So apologies for the updated agenda, but I'm sure that I'm going to bring you every bit of content I plan to bring you. So please bear with me, and apologies for any of the inconvenience that we may have caused you there. Again, welcome to Mayor Winston Kai, who I'd love to acknowledge his involvement since the late 1990s in this organisation. To my chair, Roger Collins, who is also the incoming Regional Tourism Organisation board member as well. Thank you for your leadership, your guidance, for everything you've provided Outback New South Wales Tourism. Later today, we will be expecting some other very important people, I should say. Phil Simons, who I have to take this opportunity to say he chose to fly instead of catch CountryLink, and he's not here. But Giles caught CountryLink, and he works for the same company, and he's here. So we'll give him a lot of stick when he arrives later. But thanks so much to CountryLink for their ongoing support. 5 years of sponsorship to create these events that we put on for you. If it wasn't for them, these would not happen. So big thanks to CountryLink. Graham Perry will be joining us later. He's the new appointed CEO of the Inland New South Wales Tourism Organisation, and we'll certainly welcome him, and he will take us into the future of all the challenges ahead. And Kathleen Drennan from Destination New South Wales will also be joining us a bit later. So welcome, the 5th Annual Symposium. It's been created with all of you in mind, focuses on all the relevant issues of the times. Unfortunately, we have a few that had to cancel because they couldn't get in. So I'd like to acknowledge our partners in Walgett, Brewarrina, some in Burke, some in Wentworth, that couldn't make it today, and obviously our Corner Country friends who definitely couldn't get through. So our thoughts are with you, and we wish you could be here, but we can't change the weather. Outback has actually performed incredibly well considering the tourism climate. So I wanted to share with you some of the results of which you've sort of seen in the video, but also some other stats to show how working together we can continue to grow this economic growth that we're experiencing in Outback. Can you just go to my slide please, Anne? So we gained insights from our tourism research analyst every year, Mr. Peter Valerio, and on a yearly basis, so that we can see how we're tracking and performing. I wanted to share with you that we've certainly had our challenges, but if you look at this graph here, you can see that our non-coastal, which is the green line, that's everywhere in New South Wales that doesn't have a coastal appeal, is the green, and we are the red. Now obviously you can see there we're extremely seasonal, which I'm sure you all agree we're seasonal, and you can see some dips. There was 2005 and 2007. 2005 was the petrol price disaster that just stopped everyone getting in cars from capital cities, and 07 was the peak of the drought. But you can see a great jump in the year of the Outback in 2002, 2003. But we have remained solid and in an incredible volatile market over the past 2 years. He has given me a quote which I really want to read you. It basically says, "It is quite clear that Outback has outperformed the market. Whilst I'm not familiar with the approach adopted by the region, the better than average results over a long period of time suggests it relates to a constant element of strategy and its implementation." So I think that's great, but I also think it's because we work together, and I'm really proud to say that I think Outback has certainly been one of those There's areas that we do come together when in need, and also in our marketing, and you can see in the Darling River Run, I don't think I know any other campaign that's had over 42 partners. So that sort of thing is a testament to you all. The combined effort is now more important as we start the move with a new regional tourism group, which calls for your involvement. So before we get started, I wanted to actually invite some of our VIPs. Obviously, we've got 2 here, 2 will come later. We'll do those at dinner. So can I ask Mr. Roger Collins, on behalf of Outback New South Wales Tourism and also Inland New South Wales Tourism, to come forward and say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. A couple of things that are interesting I note here for, I guess we all try to get into the technology, so I wrote a few notes on my iPad. Oh boy, I'm not too sure that I can read it, but never mind. Can I say and add my welcome to everybody? It's nice to look around the room. I know we've still got some out there struggling trying to get here, but thank you to all of you who've combated rather adverse weather to get here. Welcome. As Laurie said, this is our 5th symposium. I suppose technically that's not right because we had a masterclass in there, but our 5th event, if I can put it that way, for Outback. A little bit of sadness, I suppose, is that it is our last event. And I'll address that in a moment or two. I'd also like to welcome, I know we don't have all of them, but our speakers who are attending this session. Thank you all very much. I think by the end of the 2 days, my trust is that we will be perhaps a little bit better educated. Certainly, if past experience is anything to go by, we'll certainly be rather more inspired. So thank you all of you for making the effort to come and to see us and spend some time here to help us in our industry. I mentioned that this is our last one, and it's a little bit sad, and it's always sad to be at the last event of any sort. My hope and trust is that by the end of this 2-day session, you'll realise actually that it's not all gloom and doom, and far from it. I think the future offers great opportunity for all of us, and I think what is important to get through is that it's about involvement. It always has been, but as we move into a new organisation, perhaps more so than ever, is involvement and industry involvement. If you listen to a lot of the things that the government is saying, and I guess I'm hoping it's getting out into the wide world, the government is looking to rationalise what it spends in tourism or support of tourism. They recognise the importance of it. There's a couple of things out recently. George Soros is touting the fact, and he has done, is they fulfilled an election promise of granting $5 million to the industry to develop product. We've got some exciting things coming in that area. But I think looking at the day-to-day running of it, their intent is to actually probably reduce the amount of expenditure that they want to make in supporting organisations like this. How they see that happening is by the industry being involved. We took a decision in 2007 to make that involvement and to become intimately involved in regional tourism, and I would, any of you who are not, and I guess probably this room is full of people who are already involved, please encourage others. I'd like to acknowledge my dear friend Laurie and Glenn, and indeed everybody in Laurie Management. For 5 years they've organised these symposiums, and they've done, as far as I'm concerned, and I think most of you who've been to more than one of them at least will know, an excellent job. We've also done an excellent job actually of guiding Outback New South Wales tourism. I guess it's common knowledge, unfortunately Laurie Management's contract expires at the end of April, and that sets us loose to look towards the future through the new organisation of Inland. It's funny, I took a note down here and I said one of the things that Laurie and her team have done is to bring together the Outback family. And I really feel like I am part of a family. We do work together well. I forget, was it 42 people or organisations involved in the Darling River Run? I think that's probably one of the best examples, but there are others where we work together. Just little things, day by day, just pushing people across and promoting other towns and other parts of our region. And in that, I believe Outback works extremely well. I'm going to throw down a bit of a gauntlet, and it's rather a shame that Graham Perry's not here, because I guess this paragraph was really as much as anything intended for him. So I might send him this email. Because what I want to see is certainly inland New South Wales tourism picking up the mantle and running these symposiums. Whether they do one across the whole region or whether they do multiple, that's a choice for that organisation. But I certainly want to see one in Outback. In fact, I go a stage further, and for what it's worth, I believe that all the regional tourism organisations should be doing something similar to this. But, here's the big but. They've got a high benchmark to meet, because Laurie set it here after 5 years. It's brilliant. It's terrific standard. So I want them to absolutely at the least meet that standard, but I actually want them to exceed it. Pity is, as I say, pity Graham's not here, because that was his challenge. I think face-to-face contact and information exchange, and of course the opportunity for the social interaction these conferences afford is absolutely paramount for our industry, and perhaps more so in inland New South Wales than anywhere else, and hence my reason for my challenge. The last year has seen some rather significant changes, and I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to look at some of the major events, because I want people to perhaps understand a little bit of the journey that we started, and it commenced towards the end of 2010. And basically the decision was made that we would look seriously at amalgamation of regional tourism organisations. One of the big fights on it was the realities of running an organisation and having the funding for it. As I mentioned just previously, the government's sort of squeezing all the time the funds that they're putting into organisations to actually manage and run themselves. We created a steering committee in 2010, and it consisted of representatives from what was the original 3 RTOs involved, and that was of course ourselves in Outback, New England Northwest, and at that time Central. That steering committee actually did a very sterling service of pulling together all the requirements, the processes and everything that we needed for amalgamation. Concurrently with that, and it felt like all the time, there were ongoing discussions between the chairs, Destination New South Wales, to eventually arrive at a formal amalgamation at the very end of June last year. I'm going to tell you, in the process of doing that, we combated some quite amazing things, included fairly strong detractors from various sources within the industry that I won't name. We also underwent a change of partner right at the tail end, and it always was a decision of each of the regional tourism organisations to continue. Central decided that the approach was not what they wanted to do, and we were lucky to secure Capital Country as an interested party. Capital Country, obviously, as its name implies, focuses down the Southern Highlands and round the ACT. Interesting enough, we then had a breakaway group from Central, so we were joined by 5 local government areas, which actually are very great deal of synergy in what we're trying to do in inland, and that is Dubbo and up through that area up towards our part of the world in Walgett and Lightning Ridge. I've got to say, I don't think that this has been the end. If anything, it's probably the end of the beginning, and that's perhaps what makes life a little bit exciting. We've already had some significant achievements. I mentioned the $5 million product development fund from the government. I can tell you Inland has been able, through their auspices, to secure a significant amount of that funding. There is on, I think it's the Destination New South Wales website, a listing of all the product that has achieved funding. If you go down there, you've got to look a little bit and sort of do a bit of work on what area it's in. It's in the order of about, I think, 400,000 to 500,000 that's gone towards inland, and it may well be more, and that's just the latter stages of it. As I said earlier, I think this is an opportunity for all of us to be involved. I guess on a multi-tier, it's for our own businesses, which of course at the end of the day is where our primary focus, I guess, has to be. But it's also in towards destinations, and you'll see a little bit more of that later tonight of what some of the activity that's been going on. And of course the region. But I'm of the opinion that every bit of involvement we have here and through our region helps in fact the general business of tourism in New South Wales. My last line here was to hand over to Graham Perry, but he's somewhere or other, so unfortunately I can't do that. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and appreciate your efforts in coming here. Thank you.
I knew I should have told you 2 minutes and not 5. Can I ask Mayor Winston Kai to welcome you all to Broken Hill, please?
Thanks, Laurie. Thanks, Roger. Can I say I'm glad you haven't given me time, Laurie, because I have about 17 years worth of history in this organisation, and I'm not going to give it to you all now, but I'd like to pull out some highlights. But first of all, on behalf of the Broken Hill City Council, I'd like to welcome you all here, and also, quite obviously, the Broken Hill City community. So we appreciate you travelling in this beautiful blue sunny skies that we have throughout New South Wales, and anybody that's travelled through the waters and have the experiences, welcome. And for the people who are not here, as Laurie said, they should have called Countrylink. But the Outback Regional Tourism Organisation started way back when. It actually started in the council bunkers with the then CEO Tony Thirlwell and his one of his board members, Bill Wright, come out and basically said, this is the way we're going, this is the path we're taking, and it grew from there. I was lucky enough to be the vice chair from that point onwards for a couple of years, and then chair, and then the CEO, and then you actually got some real expertise, and we got Laurie in. So it's been a great privilege to me to be involved in this organisation for many years. Roger said that there's been a lot of cohesion of late. Can I tell you, it wasn't always the way. There were some really big stoushes. When you get personalities in the room, and some of you might know these people, but believe me, they're great personalities. When you get personalities like Neil McGarry from Broken Hill, and John Martin from Cobar, Wally Mitchell from Burke, can I tell you, it adds a lot of flavour to your meetings. None of this nice and how you're going, that's all crap, because they're in there, they're fighting for their regions, they're fighting for that. But eventually they all realised they were fighting for Outback. And after a while, I think it was about the first 5 years of all that inter-fighting, it started to gel that we actually need to be working for the Outback, and we need to be working for one another. And I think from Broken Hill's point of view, there was a lot of big brother syndrome, Broken Hill being the largest community in the Outback, and I think they were trying to focus, trying to take a lot of the focus away from Broken Hill until they realised that Broken Hill can actually contribute to their well-being as well. We go back 30 years, the Broken Hill City Council decided, it's probably nearly 35 to 40 years, the Broken Hill City Council decided that it needed to diversify away from mining and went into tourism. And since that point, we've been in tourism and we've been a major player in the New South Wales Tourism Department and also in the Australian Tourism Department as an alternate Outback from an international point of view. But domestically, in New South Wales, we are one of the major contributors to the Outback. I can say that now. For 17 years as chair and EO of Outback, I had to be diplomatic and say that we all count, we're all equal. I'm Mayor of Broken Hill, I can say that we're number one. We work together though, because it was really amazing. I actually pulled up a Ningen brochure at our Western Division conference yesterday, day before, and part of their spiel said, call in and have a look at Ningen on your way to the Silver City, Broken Hill. So over the last 17 years, at least some things have actually been picked up, because they're saying we have a destination at the end of your trip, but we want to be part of it. We want to be part of it. We will make you part of our, or make us part of your experience. So it's good to see that the work that Laurie has put in, Roger's put in. I go back to Peter Waterford. Peter, great big man. I've got some funny stories. A couple of beers tonight, I'll probably tell you some. But Wally Mitchell, can I tell you, is one of the greatest, funniest men that you can ever meet. But don't get him on the wrong side of you, I can tell you, because Wally is one of the meanest men you can meet as well. It's, I'm hoping Wally won't mind me saying that, and I'm glad the rain's here because he's not here, I can say. And then we look at the Darling River Run. It came in two parts. I really believe it came in two parts, and it was really, really good, simply because I got to do all the hard work with my EA. We actually went up and down the Darling River 11 times, camping in all those good spots, staying in all those B&Bs along the way, really having a relaxed time. We would GPS in all the good spots. So we really, really did it tough. And then Laurie came along and had all the easy stuff, you know, all the marketing, all the implementation, all the bits that I'm really, really glad I didn't have to do. So it was really good. It was a great combination, and I really, really took Laurie really took the Darling River Run by the horns and actually really, really made it happen, because it's a great part of the Outback. We've seen another thing up there. It was called the Seven Wonders. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember the Seven Wonders of New South Wales. We decided to do the Seven Wonders of Outback, and we have seven wonders. You know, they are magnificent. And you go to the Black Opal in Lightning Ridge. You know, you've got the Broken Hill, you've got the Darling River, you've got the Corner Country. You know, all of those things make up the entirety of the Outback. So, once again, thank you for visiting Broken Hill. I would just like to congratulate everybody that's been involved in the Outback Regional Tourism Organisation for the last 17, 18 years, because they've all contributed in some small way. But I can say that over the last 5, the level of professionalism has risen, and it all goes to Laurie and her team. So well done, Laurie, and everybody have a good couple of days. We'll see if we can turn this off for you. Thank you.